Welcome to the Coach Sing Show, offering you the latest creative content marketing tips to help you work less, earn more, and help more people. Are you a coach singer yet? Join the community where the world's best coaches, therapists, authors, and speakers come to discover the latest industry trends and partner with other like-minded professionals. Go to coachsing.com/community to join. And now, here's your host, Doug Foresta.
Hello, and welcome back to the Coach Sing Show. This is your host, Doug Foresta. This is a show we help you, coaches, therapists, speakers, and authors to work less, earn more, and help more people through creative content marketing. My guest today is Rock Thomas. I'll say a little bit about him and bring him right on. I know you'll get a lot out of this episode. For over a decade, Rock Thomas has influenced organizations and individuals worldwide. His credentials include a lifetime of entrepreneurial and personal successes, from real estate mogul, radio personality, to author and peak performance trainer. He is the successful book author of The Power of Your Identity and sought-after seminar programs Inside the Millionaire Mindset and the 6 Keys to Success. He is also inspiring the world with his newly released 90-day breakthrough program, the Top 10 Rules of Success. He's the owner of 2 Keller Williams franchises in Montreal. His former 6 real estate franchises with over 270 realtors sold $1 billion of real estate annually and were voted the top producing offices for the 10 years he was running them. And moreover, Rock embarked on a new adventure in 2014 when he became the chief visionary officer of GoBundance. And I encourage you to visit InsideTheM1.com. That's inside the M, letter M, number 1.com. Put that link on the show page as well. Rock Thomas, welcome to the Coach Sing Show.
Wow, first of all, you got a great radio voice and a
you.
very smooth introduction. I feel very excited to hear myself talk.
Thank you. Yeah, I used to, sometimes people will say to me, "Man, that was really inspiring." So, I should put together a package where we just send you that over some Rocky music, and you can wake up in the morning and just listen to that, jump out of bed, and you go, "I'm awesome."
I love it. I'm in.
Sounds good. So, yeah, I'd love to. Actually, I know I gave you that introduction, but maybe you can say a little bit before I start going into the content piece. Like, can you say a little bit for our listeners about, who you are and what you do in your own words?
Yeah, serial entrepreneur, grew up on a farm, worked hard all my life, then kind of slid backwards around the age of 30, father dying of cancer, went through a divorce, yada, yada, evicted from my apartment, had to start all over. And it was right around then that I hit my first real serious mentor, first millionaire actually that I knew. And within about 4 years, he sold me the business that he was running, a real estate franchise. And I went on to break every record through his mentorship, and from 94 agents to 270 agents, selling $1 billion of real estate a year. And then hit another couple of potholes, as life will do that to you just when you think you figured it all out. Throws you another curve. And that's when I came across Tony Robbins and went deep into his work, became a trainer for him, and became inspired to write my book in 2006, and went on to speak and train and coach. And very excited about that process because I think there's so much that is going to accelerate people's success when they get mentorship or coaching. And today, I'm lucky enough to be involved with over 100 successful, high net worth successful entrepreneurs in our mastermind group, GoBundance. And then we have the M1 program where we mentor people that aren't there yet to accelerate their success there. So pretty excited about that.
So I'm really excited to ask you this question then, which is our departure point on the show, which is about, you've obviously been serially successful with multiple businesses and helping other people. What is your favorite way or ways to get the word out about what you do to the people that most need to hear it?
It's funny because I don't know if, not in your case because you got such a sexy voice, but most people hate to listen to their own voice. And I certainly, fell into that category for a long, long time. And I think at the base root, it probably just has to do with a little bit of self-worth. You criticize yourself and you're good at it. But I started to record videos and I started to send out these motivational moments, just a thought I had of some challenge I was going through, and then a reference to a book or a principal or a coach had given me an idea, and then I'd share it with people and started sending them out. And it's proven to really be pretty effective. And in the world we live in today with Facebook and YouTube, I think that obviously it's accelerated for everybody. But that's really worked well for me, and running ads on Facebook has really worked well for me as well. According to the numbers, they say that the video seems to work quite well with the messages I send. So in my case, that's worked well for me.
Well, I'd love to dig into what you said because I hear people say that all the time about, oh, I hate my voice, and what's funny is it's not that actually that I love my voice, but I think I'm used to hearing it now. Like I neither. It's funny when somebody will say to me, "Oh, you got such a great voice." I'm like, I just hear my voice all the time because I'm editing audio, and it just become part of the background, so I stop thinking about it. But I'm curious for you, like, how were you able to get past that? Whatever that was, because I know some people, they get stuck in that and they're like, well, I just hate the way I sound, I'm not going to put something out there. Like, how were you able to get past that and put your videos out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I think that, without going too deep, as we grow up, our parents impose identities on us. They say, you're lazy, you're, okay, don't talk to her, she's shy. And we start to take on these identities. If every day you woke up, most of your life, people stood around you and said, oh my God, you have such a great voice. Oh my God, you have such a great voice.
Yeah.
We would probably tell ourselves that too, right?
Right. Absolutely.
We would take it on. But most of the time you were caught, singing in the shower one day or singing in a room and somebody's like, you just should not sing, like really.
Right.
And so we take on these beliefs around, how we sound and things like that. And it just forms from there. So in my case, I just learned that the more references you have around getting good results, you can change your perspective on things. So I started to hear people say to me, I started doing radio and they said, you got a really good voice. And I had a girlfriend who said, you got a really great voice. And then people started to say, I like to listen to you speak. And I started to realize, it's my own little pattern inside. So change that. And besides that, who cares? How many people do we hear that are announcers or singers that are nasal and things like that? It's your voice. You got to just wear it well, be proud of it, and that's it. End of story.
I think that's so true because one of the things I think about is, like, if you have a friend, right? Like what is a good voice, right? I mean, some people have, I guess, better voices than others. I mean, you can train your voice, but at the end of the day, let's say like you like someone, you have a good friend, you care about them. Yeah, are you going to be like, Tom, I've always thought you have a little bit of a high pitch. I'm sorry, this is not going to work. This is not going to work.
You're out, man.
Yeah, you're out. I'm cutting out my friends. Like, it is really funny because I think that I don't care, to be honest with you. I would pick any day. I would rather have somebody who is authentic, who shares value with me, and doesn't have a perfect voice over somebody who has a perfect voice, but I don't trust, doesn't give me any good value. Do you know what I mean? Oh, did I lose you, Rock?
Sorry, I hit the mute button. I'm right here.
Okay.
I think we live in a day and age where authenticity is really key. If you look at right now, Donald Trump is running for president, and I'm not for or against him, but there's a lot of people that think he's crazy and a nutball and all that. But put that aside, one thing that he is doing is he's more authentic than most people that have been running for president in a long, long time. And in the day and age of reality TV, there's more authenticity. And I think that's what people crave. It's just be real, man. And if we could all just be ourselves, wow, we could all relax and we would all just be cool and be who we are, we'd be a happier nation. But the underlying thing is, like, women have to put on makeup, they have to lose weight, right. Guys have to put on muscle, they have to increase their testosterone to a certain level. We're never enough. Yeah. We're never enough is the message that, the pharmaceuticals and the advertising companies want to sell us, and most people buy into it.
That I love that. I mean, it's funny because we started off with content, but it's really like, in order to put content out there, I think mindset is so much a part of content, right? Like, I mean, we can sense how people, well, first of all, if you don't have the right mindset, you just won't put content out there because you'll, in the first place. And then I think it's also like, for me, like, you can see when someone's joyful or somebody is really of service. Like, you can feel the energy of that.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. If you don't feel good about your message, whether it be in writing or whether it be verbally or auditorily, you got to first get your psychology into a place where you feel your message is valuable. And they say 80% of success is psychology, and I believe that 100%. you've got to feel excited about your message. Whether you're going to teach people, coach them on how to open a yoga studio or whatever your message is, you've got to be passionate about it, excited about it. And then whether your voice is cool or resonant or not, that doesn't matter, because the authenticity and the passion will come through.
What do you think are the biggest mistakes that most coach, speakers, authors make in your experience when they try to get out there and build a community and share content?
Well, I think that there's a section of the population, unfortunately, that are false prophets. They like the idea. They went to one seminar. They watched somebody impact people's lives, and they're like, "Oh, I want to do that. Yeah. It's going to make them feel significant," or whatever the case may be. And then they go get some rinky-dink certification, and then they try to go out there. I personally prefer the people that have lived it, have been down in the trenches, and speak from it. So pain creates passion. So if you're going to go out there coaching and training, I like people who are authentic in that they've been there. How can you relate to somebody if you're going to help people that are struggling as entrepreneurs if you've never been bankrupt? If you don't know what it's like to not have a penny and to take the bus home or to sell your motorcycle or ride your motorcycle in the winter because you can't afford a car, you can relate to people at a deep level. So I think from that perspective, if there's no authenticity and value, it's hard to really create a sustaining business. But from a content perspective, I think that people rarely find their niche, like their real, true, what's the message? What's the value? For me, I've always considered myself really good at deciphering what is the principles or what are the principles of success. I say I'm the Google of personal development. You can go to Google, but if you come to me, I really believe 100% that I can help you get to the next level because I've been through so much, studied so many people. That's my niche, is I can direct you to a resource.
I love that. And, what you said too was interesting about, it was an interesting perspective about how can you help people if you haven't struggled? Because I feel like a lot of people, I've certainly had this thought, which is like the opposite. Well, how can I help people if I've struggled? Like I should be perfect to help people. And so it's really nice to hear you say that it's like, it's not the idea that we don't actually have to be perfect to help people, but in fact, we have to have walked through, like we have to have walked the path that we're describing and helping other people with.
Yeah, I really believe that that's the gift that you give, right? And you see it on people that, rape victims or people that have been abused, alcoholic parents. They're the ones that really can relate to other people. There's those particular things I listed. I would not be a good person to be heartfelt in doing it. So I say, yeah, find out where your pain is. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, there was a lot of passion growing out of that. That's the place to go. Build your platform on that would be that's just my perspective. I'm just one guy, right?
Yeah, but that's the whole point of content too, right? Is that right. it is your perspective. I like what you're saying too about niche. What about one of the things I hear people say? I'm curious about your thoughts about this. But if I narrow down, I'm going to lose people. Like if I narrow down like who I'm targeting, then I won't have as big an audience. What would you say to that?
Well, it's a good fear generally, and I'm guilty of doing that too, trying to be, something for everybody. But the reality is, if you just sell, example, French fries, and everybody knows to come to you for French fries, then it's really simple what you have to do. And Malcolm Gladwell, 10,000 hours, you become the best French fry person, and you become the best at teaching people, how to sell, coaching through Facebook ads. That's your thing. You'll get a level of mastery. And when you do, people will be directed to you. Problem is people don't really know the problem they want to solve. I want to solve the problem of people's inability to take action. That's what I'm passionate about. And so just find out what it is. And I've studied so much about that it's not work for me. Right? I'll continue to read, I'll continue to research and find another angle. Then I'll find one little thing. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. Oh my God, I can share this with people. This is the key. And it's a never ending thing. And my assistant, she goes, I always say to her, okay, now I've got the PowerPoint for my presentation for my one keynote talk. And she goes, Rock, you say that every month, and then you change it because I'm so passionate about it, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting as you were saying that I've never thought of it this way before, but the connection between passion and niche, like you can't be if somebody's just if you go to see somebody, I'm just passionate. What are you passionate about? I'm passionate about dogs and clouds and Wall Street, and it's like to really be passionate, we have to be passionate about something specific. So I never thought about this before, but it does seem like there has to be a connection between like what are you passionate about, and if you're passionate about everything in the world, that doesn't feel true, you know.
Yeah, and like I have a buddy of mine who's a crazy day trader, and he loves it. He's got two huge screens
Right.
the size of TVs in his office, and he looks at this and he reads that, and he's passionate about it, and that's where your energy will go without a lot of effort, and therefore you will be able to serve. It's kind of like your purpose.
Right, right, exactly. I always joke about you never want the doctor who, you're getting brain surgery and you're like, so you're a neurosurgeon? He's like, well, I do a little foot, a little heart, a little, a little arm, a little bit of everything, but I definitely dabble in head, I'm definitely, I definitely can do it. No problem. Like,
Yeah, I
well,
like a little variety. This is a head week for me.
this is a head week for me. You're in good hands. It's fine.
Yeah. That's funny.
I mentioned at the beginning of the show a link inside the m1.com. Can you explain what that is and what people will find when they go there?
Speaking of passion, this is what I'm super excited about. As I've looked and traced my success, I realized that every time I had a spike in results in my life was because somebody took me under their wing and was excited about my raw energy, but knew I was misguided. Like, okay, the guy's engine is on, but he's ramming up against that wall. If we just turn him this way, we could get him to have some amazing results. And when we got these kind of 100 millionaires, multimillionaires, successful entrepreneurs together and go abundance, we started to realize that there was a group of people that weren't millionaires yet that didn't really have opportunity. Maybe they grew up without a proper parents, or they grew up in an area, or they came from another part of the world, but they were hungry, they were raw, they were ready. And we thought, what if we provide them with all the lessons we got, but we do it in a systematic curriculum kind of a way, and every week we do it online, but we create a community. So you imagine 20 or 30 men, it's only men, that get together online, and every week they're fed something that brings them closer to the success principles. And they have to fill out assignments, and then they have to interact with each other and be accountable to start the rituals of the rich. So we've been doing this for a few months now, and the results are off the hook. We have people making investments that never thought. We have people that are finally making budgets. I know it sounds simplistic, but most people are broke and they don't know how much money they have. We have people actually doing it. And because I understand human nature and I understand why people don't do things, we leverage what's called peer power or peer pressure. You will rise and fall to the level of the expectations of your peer group. Put people into a gang, they'll behave like a gang. Put them in prison, they become barbaric. Put them into a group of entrepreneurs, they become entrepreneurial. So we just do that. We put them into this group. We give them all the tools and steps in order to become mindseted toward success, and they accelerate their success. So I'm super pumped about this because you could be anywhere. You could be Australia, you could be in Alabama. You can get into a group and you can charge toward financial freedom.
What a great thing. And I love the idea too that it's for men, not to, obviously nothing against women, but it's great I think men often have more difficulty allowing in mentors and help and support in community. So much needed.
Yeah, it's interesting you look at that perspective, and I agree with you. We're not often willing to admit that we haven't figured it out because it ain't cool and it's weak, and men will, we will see other guys that are weak, and we will, we'll often leave them behind because we want to charge forward and we want to be the alpha male. But in being with a group of people that you can share authentically, and you can be a little bit open and say, hey, I need help with this and help with that, because we create the culture, all of a sudden now you'd be amazed at how many other men are like, well, yeah, you know what? I actually needed help with that too. Thanks for mentioning it. And then this cascading effect of people that are like, we're not quite as badass as we thought we were. We're hungry. but we need a little bit of help. And then that allows people to get the accelerated success. I know for me, I was a secret agent. I called myself a secret agent. I didn't want anybody to know how bad I was until I figured it out. And I could go into the office and put 5 sales on the board and go see everybody how great I am. But I suffered for months and months on my own, struggling, until finally I was so desperate that I had to come in and ask for help.
Very powerful. And again, people can learn more about that at insidethem1.com, right?
Yes, that's a perfect place to go. And then just leave us an email or whatever, and we'll have our community manager contact you, have a conversation with you, let you know a little bit more about it, and see if it's a fit for you.
Rock Thomas, thank you so much for joining me on the Coach Singh Show and sharing your words of wisdom. I greatly appreciate it.
Well, it's a pleasure. I mean, again, love your voice, love your energy, and you're obviously in the right niche for yourself.
Thank you very much. I'll get you that intro with the Rocky theme, and we'll so you can get your day started right.
I think you need to monetize that, bro. You know,
I know.
Do a little example, do a little teaser online, and then put it out there, and how to start your morning and feel like a stud.
Awesome. Rock Thomas, thank you so much.
All right. Cheers. Enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I do encourage you to visit insidethem1.com. So insidethem1.com. Put that link on the show page. And I also want to remind you, as always, that if you're not subscribed to the show, go ahead and click the subscribe button in iTunes. You'll get new episodes each week, helping you to work less, earn more, and help more people. Till next time, this is Doug Foresta at The Coach Singh Show.
Thanks for listening to The Coach Singh Show. Need help getting your book out of your head and onto paper? Need help marketing your books or speaking engagements? We can do it for you. Go to CoachSing.com to learn more. Are you a coach singer yet? Join the Coach Singers community, where the world's best coaches, therapists, authors, and speakers meet. You'll get exclusive access to private mastermind calls, where you can get instant marketing help from industry experts. Plus, we'll help you forge deals and partnerships with other like-minded professionals. Go to CoachSing.com/community to join now.